Ooh wee. Just let it breathe for a second. Just let it breathe. Breathe. Okay, I think we've settled. So, the first nationally televised game in 23 seasons for the Detroit Pistons. Cade Cunningham's first nationally televised game after people were calling him a bust after his first 3 games. And people are talking, oh, he's shooting 1 of 21 from 3. Okay. Well, what about when he needs to shoot some threes over Jalen Green's head? What's he doing now? Jalen Green? Cade Cunningham. Oh, just put the baby to sleep. Gonna get a few dislikes for Rockets fans. I'm sorry. It's a bit toxic right now. Christian Wood? Oh, Jeremy Grant's just rocking you to sleep as well. Oh, read him a lullaby. Oh, Houston Rockets, Detroit Pistons. You get what we're saying. Oh, the Detroit Pistons are 2-8. Oh, they still suck. Well, the thing is, Cade Cunningham, since he has entered the starting lineup, 2-3. Nearly beat the Brooklyn Nets as well. So basically, we're like 2.5 and 2.5. That's how I look at it, because it's the Brooklyn Nets, and we nearly beat them. And Cade Cunningham took over that game as well, and he took over this game. And we've seen the fourth quarter specialist he is, as opposed to, I'm not getting toxic. I'm not going to bring up Jalen Green. He had a good game. So if you came here for that, he had a good game. But Cade Cunningham had a better game. Well, I don't know. I don't care. I don't really care. All I know is Cade Cunningham closed out the game. The Detroit Pistons closed out the game. Jeremy Grant decided that he wanted to hit some threes and hit some shots for the first time in a while. So that is fantastic as well. And that's kind of what we need to talk about. Actually, a little bit of a public service announcement. This kind of video, a post-game reaction to a Pistons game, which is going to happen a little bit more since Cade Cunningham has re-entered the starting lineup, and there's actually something to cheer about. That's going to be on my second channel, okay? So I'm starting a second channel for this kind of video. It's not going to be exclusively Pistons content, so sorry to get your hopes up, but it'll be like twice a week. Instead, I'll try to keep this channel a little bit more diversified. So, look, just hit the subscribe button. That would be much appreciated. If Cade Cunningham is the best rookie in the class, click on that channel, subscribe. So if you don't think he's the best rookie, then you don't have to subscribe, and then that's up to you. But that would be much appreciated. So just making that known. Let's get into this while we're here. Let's talk about this game because it was a fun game. It's the first fun game in a while. Actually, the last few have been pretty good. Since I said that about the Pistons were boring, it's been good. It's been upwards, and that was good. So we've seen Cade Cunningham get his first 20-point game. It just looked so good. He just looked so good. The pace that he plays at, it's just a different level to any rookie that I've seen play for the Pistons, obviously, in a long time. I didn't see Grant Hill. I didn't see the guys back then. But the pace he plays at is just absurd. It's just absurd. When he needs to change direction, when he needs to pull up for a three. I haven't seen a shot from Cade Cunningham I haven't liked. Actually, there was that one where he hit like the side of the backboard, which was really out of character. But in general, I have not seen a shot that he takes, a play that he makes, a defensive play, an offensive play that I don't really like. Particularly these last few games. He's just in control at all times, and it's something else. It really is something else right now to see what he's doing. Jeremy Grant as well. Shout out to him, ending up with 35 points. Oh, most improved player, Christian Wood. Well, that's all I'm going to say. We paid the right man. Jeremy Grant had a fantastic game. Killian Hayes, Isaiah Stewart. We'll get into all of those guys, but let's just talk about Cade for a second. Let's just talk about Cade. He could have easily ended up with, how many assists does he end up with? 3 assists. That could have been 7 or 8. There was already the goaltending on Kelly Olynyk. He created at least 3 or 4 open threes and then a couple of good looks in the pick and roll as well. And he's still not utilizing the pick and roll probably as much as we would like to see. And his usage rate could have been even higher down the stretch. But fair enough, Jeremy Grant was hot, so you can't complain about him getting a decent amount of the ball down the stretch. Also in foul trouble, only played 30 minutes. If he plays 35 minutes that game, maybe he ends up with 25 points. But it's all right. It's just exponential growth. Or steady growth, whatever it is, it's going to be exponential very soon because he's already damn near playing like an all-star. Because he's a defensive player as well. He can play defense, and he has played defense. And he'll get the ball, he'll run the floor, he'll change direction. There was that one change of direction that if Olynyk wasn't if he wasn't a bozo, it would have been fantastic. Hit Jalen Green with a little in and out, got to the rim, and that's exactly what you're seeing from Cade. Is this what it feels like? Yeah, I guess it does. So that's cool. That's nice. Okay, let's try to dissect what we've actually seen today. In terms of the Pistons, I think they played well as a whole. I think they have improved some of the blame has been, I think, unfair on Casey. I don't think he's immune to blame or he's been the perfect coach, but we have created a decent amount of open looks. If you look at the open three-point shooting percentage, the three-point shooting percentage in general, we're dead last. We're shooting absolutely awful on open three-point looks, and that kind of continued into today. We ended up shooting 16 of 48 towards the end of the game. Cade and Jeremy Grant really just saved that percentage. But in general, we had so many good looks that weren't dropping, particularly in the first half. Oh, that was dreadful. The first quarter was a tough watch. The first quarter, we were getting open looks at will. Killian Hayes created some good looks. I know his stat line isn't fantastic, and make of it what you will, but he did create some good opportunities on the offensive end of the floor, created some good looks and some extra passes that just weren't converted. They were just not converted. Saddiq Bey, 2 of 9. He's had a struggle. He's doing other things well, like he's been rebounding the ball on both ends of the floor. He ends up with 5 offensive rebounds. I know he was good, but like 5 offensive rebounds, that's something that we have to give some credit to. So he's been doing the other aspects of the game well. If his three-point shot can fall, which I still have confidence, maybe he's not going to be the 40% sniper we initially predicted, but there's no way he's not going to be at least a 35% three-point shooter for like the entirety of his career. I just don't see that happening. He's got fluid form. He's got a stable base. I'm by no means a mechanics expert, so I'm pretty much just talking out of my behinds right now. But he's got those things, and he can move off the dribble, and he can do things. We've seen it. We saw it throughout his rookie season. He was breaking records for three-point shooting. So let's not act like, oh, he can't shoot the ball, because we know he can. And once that comes, well, he's doing some other things as well on the floor. He's been good defensively. He's been physical. He bodied a few of those smaller Rockets players inside, which is what you want to see. Like, Saddiq Bey is a big unit. Like, you got to use that big unit status to some degree, and he's using that once the three-point shot falls, which he's going to continue to get open looks, because we've already seen it with Cade. Killian as well to a degree. I know people can make of it what you will with his scoring, should I say, but in terms of his shot creation, it's been pretty decent, and as a whole, he's been playing pretty decent. His three-point shot looks improved, so there's that. But Cade makes it all nice, okay? Cade makes it all nice. He's putting it all together. And you've seen him was the Brooklyn game the last game? I don't know. I'm not going to check right now. But you've seen him the last couple of games, Brooklyn and now Houston, where he has been the clear best player for the Pistons down the stretch when it has mattered. And the Brooklyn one nearly ended in a win, and this one did end in a win. When you need someone to take over the game, which is why I was kind of high on the Pistons, because if you look at last season, we were actually a lot more competitive than how we've started this season. We were really close in a ton of games. I think our clutch record, I know our clutch record was the worst in the league. It was the worst in the league. So you bring in Cade Cunningham, and he showed it at Oklahoma State, and he's already showing it in the NBA. He can win games for you down the stretch. And it's not all about him just ISO, hezzy, heem, hitting 12 points in the last 5 minutes. No, it's not all about that. It's the open pass that he made to a Saddiq Bey 3 or whatever it was. It's that extra pass. It's that defensive effort. Getting in the lane for a Jalen Green foul charge. Those are the kind of things that he does that doesn't show up in the box score, but you know what I mean? Like, he'll make those extra plays. He'll handle the ball, and he won't do anything sloppy. He did make one sloppy pass actually to Isaiah Stewart, but that's okay. We'll let him get away with it. But in general, there's just a confidence. You can even see it with Jeremy Grant. Like, he's passing the ball to Cade, and you can see they've got so much confidence in this man making the right decision. Jeremy Grant, on a night where he was absolutely on fire, on a night where he had 33 points, was very happy to give the ball to Cade Cunningham, and very happy to just get out of the way and let him make the decision, which is a nice thing to have in a point guard that you know is going to make the right decision pretty much 9 times out of 10. And he's also explosive. He can also get his shot at will. His explosive movement has been really good the last 2 games. This one in particular, he was getting past defenders at will. He could have easily ended up with like 30 points. He gets to his spot pretty much whenever he wants. And he's also creating as well for others. And defensively, he's there. Like, dude was a number 1 pick for a reason. He was a number 1 pick for a reason, and we're seeing those reasons now, and this is just the start. He's played 5 games coming off an ankle injury. He's played 5 games coming off an ankle injury. If he's not playing like an all-star by the all-star break, post-all-star break, I'll be surprised. That's what I'm going to say. It could be sooner, but we'll temper expectations, okay? It was the Houston Rockets. No offense, the Pistons aren't much better themselves so far, but it was the Houston Rockets. But if he's not playing like an all-star within the next couple of months, I would be very surprised, because he's already damn near playing like that. When you're giving 20 points, could have easily ended up with like 6 or 7 assists, plus playing great defensively, closing out games. It's fantastic to see. In terms of the other guys, It's a shame. Isaiah Stewart was actually playing really well when he was on the floor. He just couldn't stay on the floor. He ends up with 8 rebounds in 15 minutes. He altered 3 or 4 shots. He was moving his feet really well. I was really impressed with what he was doing defensively. Unfortunately, he just got into foul trouble. Also got that bogus, was it a technical foul or a flagrant foul? Whatever it was, technical foul. That was bogus as well. In general, Killian Hayes talked about him, Sadiq Bey, Kelly Olynyk. I like what he brings. Obviously, his spacing is important. Sometimes he does some annoying things on defense and on offense. And sometimes he takes shots when it's like, just give the ball back to Cade or Killian. I don't want Kelly Olynyk pulling up for 3 in some situations. For some of those situations, fantastic. I still like what he's bringing, but, he can be a little bit frustrating to watch at times. I will say that, particularly when selfishly, and for good reason, we just want to see the ball in Cade Cunningham's hands. And that's what it is. And we're seeing it now. Killian Hayes, he's kind of suffering as a result of it because right now he's just a complete off-ball player. And the reality is, you've got to prioritize the development of the number 1 overall pick. So Hayes is still doing some good stuff defensively. I know they're staggering the minutes a little bit. They are trying to give Killian opportunity. It would be nice if Corey Joseph didn't take away some opportunity from both of those guys because that can be frustrating. If you want to talk about Olynyk, Corey Joseph, let's just amplify that a little bit when we're talking about frustrating players. That's all I've got to say, really. Like I said, second channel is now out, and this is for this kind of content, so I can do this more regularly, and hope you enjoy this kind of content. If you do, hit the second channel. Have a nice day. I know you will. Have a nice night because it's a night in America. Anyway, bye.